4-1. Is this really happening? Are the Philadelphia Eagles for real? Are they actually legitimate Super Bowl contenders? I can't believe I just uttered those words out of my mouth. Philly 500 is here. I am Adrian Fedque. What's up, Philly?
What's up, man? How you doing, everybody?
How you
now
doing?
Listen, I'm gonna admit something to everybody today. Now it's almost embarrassing to do it, but I am drinking the Kool-Aid for this team. I'm starting to believe.
Are you sipping or are you chugging?
Chugging. I am chugging because of one man, number 11. He is what I thought he could be and so much more. And I believe in this team. I actually believe this team has a chance to do some great things this year.
Yeah, we're going to get into all that in this show right now. Now, the first topic we're going to kind of get into is why this team is 4-1, why they've been so successful. And it does start with number 11. It does start with Ginger Jesus, the savior of the franchise, Carson Wentz. That's what we're going to talk about to start. So what did we say before the year? We said that, you know, if the Eagles were going to go like 10-6, be successful, it would be because Carson Wentz was better than we thought he'd be. When we thought he was going to be pretty damn good, we said like 26 touchdowns, 27 touchdowns, somewhere around there, maybe 14 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
Right now he's got 10 touchdowns, 3 interceptions after throwing 4 yesterday. He's on pace to throw 30 plus.
That's amazing. That is amazing because we had conversations about this. If the Eagles make the playoffs, it has to be on Carson Wentz's back. And what you're seeing is that happen. So he's ahead of schedule. He's off to a way better start than I thought he would be. This whole team is. So it's very exciting. But Carson is the man right now. And I think after this Thursday night game, the whole entire league will see that too. I believe that. And, we'll see what happens. And also, real quick, I have to say this to everybody. We did a show last week.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
But you were banned because you live in America. We got blocked when we uploaded it. Unless you're in France, hey, forget about it.
Yeah, we tried to do something new. So what we did is we took the Zoom that I do, the little shows with Brendan with, the film studies, and we tried to watch a condensed version of the Eagles game, the 30-whatever-minute version on NFL Game Pass. So we watched it, we reacted to it, we uploaded it, and it's only available out of the States. So there's like 80 views on it. The people in Germany, they love it. They love themselves some Bitter Dingbats. But unfortunately, in the United States, our content got blocked.
It got blocked. We're famous in Germany, right behind David Hasselhoff. That dingbat welcomes 2 more dingbats to the show. But at least Europe will be Eagle fans when it's all said and done. I think that we're going to have a lot more Eagle fans. But yes, we did try to do something new last week. It really was good, and it came out good, but you'll never see it.
Unless you go to, Europe for a week.
Yeah.
And click on the video and you can watch it.
Exactly.
There you go. All right, so the stats for Wentz yesterday on third down were absolutely extraordinary. So he was 11 of 12 for 225 yards and 3 touchdowns, 9 of 12 on the conversion rate. So that means 2 of those completions were, one of them was a 3rd and 12 to Nelson Aguilar, a little flip screen that was short of sticks. Another one was like a 3rd and goal from the 17. So he was 11 of 12, just surgeon-like precision. And the Eagles came in 2nd in the league on third down. So he emphasized during the offseason he needed to get better in the red zone and on third down. Last year, he was 28th in passer rating on third down. This year, he's number 1.
Wow. Those are spectacular numbers for third down. That's spectacular numbers. What did you say, 11 of 12?
He was 11 of 12.
11 of 12.
You can't even do that in Madden. You can't do that.
No. No, that's ridiculous. I mean, look, if this guy says, "Hey, I need to improve in this and this," and those are the kind of gains that he makes, then we're going to be holding a lot of Lombardi trophies in a few years, because that's ridiculous numbers. I mean, that's very impressive. You have to be impressed with this quarterback. I don't see how anybody can't be impressed by the progress he makes. It looks like the game is slowing down for him. It looks like he's got a better feel for it. And it just shows in his play. Like you said, I mean, he's very confident in how he's playing. I think he's a very dangerous quarterback going forward for teams.
And it's not only 11 and 12. It's you had 4 3rd and 11 pluses. You know, it's like, wow. And he's what's so impressive is you can just see the intelligence just oozing out of him with his pre-snap. He's reading the defense pre-snap, he knows where the ball's going to go before he even throws it. So, yeah. And he's just converting every 3rd down. It doesn't matter what Doug Peterson is calling. It does not matter.
No.
Carson Wentz will bail his ass on 3rd down every time.
Yeah, he will. I mean, he can make something out of nothing. Something out of nothing. And I forget who it was. I heard somebody say this today. They said, when Carson knows when it's man-to-man. When it's man-to-man, you see him run. When it's zone, you see him stay behind the line of scrimmage, keep his eyes up, and move, and then find the guy to throw on the run. And he knows to do that. You know, for a guy so young, to be able to recognize that so good is very impressive. Look, he to me is carrying this team on his back already. This guy is an MVP type candidate, and I think he's only going to get better as the year goes on. I really do.
Yeah. So he is reason number 1 why the Eagles are 4-1.
Yes.
What do you think is reason number 2?
I would say reason number 2 has to be that front 4, front 7. I think the pressure that they put on the quarterbacks, especially the play of Jernigan, right? Timmy Jernigan, the way he's playing without Fletcher Cox especially, is fantastic. This guy, he was dominating yesterday. He dominated the Arizona Cardinals. And I think that front 7 has given quarterbacks problems. And I think, you know, even though we have some secondary issues, they haven't cost us any games yet. You know what I mean? They've made some mistakes. They came close against the Chargers, but they haven't cost us any games yet. And I think that front 7 is my second reason why I think that they're 4-1.
I'm doing some quick calculations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Now, my number 2 reason, I'm going to say cornerbacks, and I echo what you say, too, with the defensive line. Now, they have been more dominant than I thought, actually. I mean, they've been ridiculously dominant. So I guess you could say they've overachieved in a way. You know, I did have them ranked as the number 1 4-3 defensive line in the NFL coming into the season, but I also had them in like the same kind of tier as like some other teams. They are in the tier by themselves. That's the difference between the start of the season and right now. I think the cornerbacks have been really good considering what they were supposed to be. So Patrick Robinson has been the best cornerback on the team so far. As a nickel cornerback, he's been tremendous. I guess he's a guy that just can't play outside because training camp, I was at the Lincoln Financial Field practice. I was there, and he was getting lit up like a tiki torch. He was awful. And then they move him to the slot, and all of a sudden he's finding the same success that he found in San Diego 2 years ago. And he's been tremendous. Jalen Mills, he competes.
Yes.
I don't know how to explain. Like some people were mad at that the game he had against Beckham. There's only so much you can do against Odell Beckham. But then yesterday he set the tone right from the opening kickoff on the opening series. You have a run stuff on first down, and then the next 2 plays they're pass breakups. It's a 3-and-out for Arizona right from the jump. Eagles score on each of their first 3 possessions. So I think the cornerback play has been a lot better than I thought it would be, and this is without Ronald Darby in here right now. So I look at what the Cardinals did yesterday in the first half. So I was curious to see if Bruce Arians would be stubborn and go stick with his vertical passing game. He didn't. So in the first half, the Cardinals threw the ball 22 times, 13 quick passes, 9 of them deep passes. But a lot of these quick passes were broken up, or there was some pressure on the quarterback. That's how quickly they were getting to him. But some of these were drops, but some of these were pass breakups by Patrick Robinson and Jalen Mills. And, we weren't necessarily seeing that the last 2 weeks in the fourth quarter. So the Eagles, they knew that the Cardinals were going to game plan with the quick passing game coming in, and they stepped up and they played well.
I thought they played real well. And Patrick Robinson, I mean, what a pleasant surprise, because if you remember training camp, OTAs, training camp, everybody was saying how bad he looked.
Yeah.
How bad he looked. He should have had a couple interceptions yesterday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, very impressive. And with Darby coming back, it's only going to be that much better. And what I like is that these guys are getting experience playing. They're playing, they're learning. And when you do one day have, Jones, and you have Darby, and you have Rasul Douglas and Mills, these guys are all experienced. They can come in and play in a situation if somebody goes down. So I love the experience they're getting as a whole, as a unit. And look, I think they're only going to get better, especially when you get Darby back.
Something I just thought of, like, it's crazy thing because, like, obviously the Eagles are not going to have some picks in this upcoming draft. I'll tell you what, it helps to basically have reaching a point where there's not a lot of holes in the roster anymore.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, there's some things that they got to do, obviously, but yeah, I agree with you. No, I really think that in a few years that this secondary is going to be the strength of this defense. I really do, because they got a lot of young guys, and they're getting experience. Then you're going to bring a guy like a Sidney Jones back when he's healthy and when he's ready. The type of talent he is. I mean, the sky's the limit for the secondary. And I'm a big believer. I want to see Rasul Douglas play safety. That's my thing. I think he would be a great safety. And I mean, I don't know that they'll do that, but I think that would be a great move for him. Malcolm Jenkins is getting older in a few years. Maybe you can let him learn, but that's my own thing,
Yeah. I think now, just to really go quick before we kind of move on, I think the offensive line has dominated ever since they kind of made that change to Wiz. I think that's really helped things. And, I mean, how can you not say anything about Zach Ertz, too? Jeez.
Yeah, Zach Ertz.
The 1 year I don't pick him to break out, and look what he's doing.
I know.
So I take full responsibility for his play so far.
Yeah, well, thank you for that. We thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Send Adrian a Christmas card. He brought Zach Ertz to us. Zach Ertz didn't show up in Christmas. But look, Zach Ertz has been fantastic, I think, for the most part. But Wentz he looks for Ertz. Like, that's his guy. He makes sure he gets him involved. And I love that about him. And I'll say one other thing that I want to say about the Eagles, why they're 4-1. I think the special teams play. Yeah. Look, you had a field goal kicker that you didn't know you had, 61-yarder. Sproles gets hurt. You get Barner. Look at the way he played yesterday on special teams. I even liked him running the ball. But the special teams has been fantastic so far, and when you don't give up touchdowns and you don't give up things from special teams, we know special teams can win you games. It just can. And I think their special teams has been really good.
Yeah. All right. So now we're going to get into the question of if the Eagles are for real. And it's a difficult question for me to answer right now because I still want to see more. I'm very encouraged by what I'm seeing, but I think the next 3 weeks are really going to show how good this team really is. At Carolina, then you come home, you play Washington, and then you come home again, and you play Denver. So I feel like if you go 2-1 for these next 3 games, I think that would be a good thing.
Yeah, look, I think it depends what does for real mean? Does for real mean making the playoffs? Because I think that they're going to make the playoffs.
For real means home field. Can they get a bye?
Yeah. That is the question. That is the huge
I know this
question.
is a playoff team. We know that they're winning the East.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
can
they're
they get
going
a
to
bye? That's the
Can they get a bye?
Are they for real question?
Well, I'll say this. If they go and beat Carolina, I think they're getting a bye. That's a 4-1 team they're playing. They'll be undefeated in their conference. Look, the best two teams besides the Eagles in the NFC may be Carolina and Washington. And you got them back to back. Because Washington is, when Kirk Cousins is on, they're a good team. So, yeah, can they get a bye? Yeah, they can get a bye. I actually believe they can get a bye. And they don't have to beat Carolina to do it. But I think it goes a long way in helping them to get it. I do. I think that they are for real. I think that they can get a bye because they got the quarterback. They got that's what it comes down to.
These are the 5 teams that I've written down as like in the contention, I guess, for the number 2 seed. We'll kind of see what happens as play kind of runs out. But Green Bay, Seattle, Carolina, Atlanta, those are the 4. Atlanta has a loss. Carolina has a loss. Seattle has 2. Green Bay has 1. Now, Seattle has not looked good, but we know like kind of how they kind of go. So they'll kind of pick up as the season goes along. Green Bay is already 4-1. So, because like EDP and I were talking yesterday, it's like, it'd be nice to get a bye because it'd be nice to host a divisional game against the Seattle or Green Bay. Because we're not going out to Green Bay in the frozen tundra or Seattle and beating those teams in the playoffs. It's not happening.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Especially Seattle. Seattle's a really tough place. I mean, Green Bay's a tough place too, but that Seattle, I couldn't see the Eagles going to Seattle in the playoffs and beating them. You get a bye week, you host a playoff game. And not only do you host a playoff game, but you only have to win one game and you're in the NFC Championship. So, yeah, I mean, that's the big question. Now, maybe we'll find out they're a year away from that. Maybe they're ready to take it. But I think this game this week, this Thursday, really, to me, if they win this game, I think they're the best team in the NFC. I do. I think they're the best team in the NFC. I think you can beat Green Bay at home because Green Bay's defense stinks. I think Seattle's not the same team on the road, so I think you can beat them at home. I mean, look, if they could get a top 2 seed, this could be very special. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. But I do think that they are definitely in contention, and I do think they have a legitimate shot. I mean, I think they have a legitimate shot to get a top 2 seed. And I really believe this Thursday is the coming out party for the Eagles. This is it. This is the national stage. Everybody's going to be watching 2 4-1 teams on Thursday because most Thursday games stink with stinky teams. So everybody's going to be watching this. This reminds me of Randall Cunningham and his coming out party against the Giants. Like, this is the time where guys need to step up. Ertz, we need to see Ertz this week. We need to see Wentz this week. This is when stars are made, and this is, to me, going to be the launch this Thursday. If they beat Carolina this Thursday, I believe they'll get a top 2 seed.
There are 2 things I'm going to keep my eye on to see if they can continue this success. Because I'm not sure if the 3rd down conversion rate is going to continue. It's kind of a fluky number, so I don't know if it's going to continue like that. They are right now number 1 in the NFL, converting 53.42% of their 3rd downs. Carolina is 2nd at 50%. So they are over 3% ahead of the competition on 3rd down. So I know that Carson was really good against Washington on 3rd down, and I know he was really good against Arizona. Can this continue? I think it will continue in maybe it'll continue, but maybe not 53% because that's just like an outrageous number.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous number. But it's very interesting that you get 2 guys who can make plays out of nothing have a high conversion rate on third down. That's not surprising, actually. And I think because of Carson's ability to create and to move around with his feet, I think that that number is going to stay high. I don't think it'll stay as high as it is, obviously, but I still think it'll be tops in the league. I still think it could be top 3, top 4. So I do think it'll stay, but yeah, I mean, maybe the number drops a little bit, but that's okay.
Yeah. And then the other thing I'm looking at is Doug Peterson, and will he have the stick-to-itiveness to stick to the running game? So you got a good run. Now, this is a week where I actually think they're going to throw the ball a lot. I just have a gut feeling. Maybe we'll get into that in a minute. But if you start playing some better defenses, can you stick to the run? Because even yesterday, I mean, they ran it only 8 times in the first half. They threw it 18 times. They built the lead, but they did run the ball in the second half. They did run the ball with Garrett Blunt. But if that game happens where they kind of struggle with the run, they're struggling to gain traction, is Doug just going to completely get away from it? And that's what I don't want to see.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not sure he will. But look, if you look at the way Blunt runs, right? I mean, just the way Blunt runs is the more you give him the ball, the more effective he gets. The later in the game, the more effective he gets. I thought Blunt would have gotten more carries yesterday, especially the way he was running. So, yeah, I mean, you got to stick to it. And I'll tell you another thing. I'd like to see Barner get more carries. I was more impressed with Barner than I have been with Smallwood. Smallwood's hurt again. I would continue to give Clement carries. But, yeah, I agree with you. I do think they're going to pass more this week. I just think that's what they're going to do. But you know what? You got to stick to that running game, because when they're balanced like that and that play action pass starts to work, man, it's pretty brutal.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a coincidence that passing lanes are opening up because the running game has been successful. This is not, coincidence at all.
Yes.
So there you go.
No, you're right. Yeah. Especially when Blunt is running the ball, because it takes 3 guys to take him down. Yep. So, yeah, I agree. That balance is going to be, when we say balance, it's not like 50-50. It
doesn't have to be
45. You're going to always have a higher. Yeah, I mean, they're always going to have a higher pass ratio, I think. Yeah. But somewhere, 55-40, I think is fine.
Okay. Good. Now we look at this game against Carolina. The reason why I think they're going to throw it a lot, I look at their linebackers: Shaq Thompson, Luke Kuechly, Thomas Davis. Not only the inside running, but they're great going sideline to sideline. So those sweep outside zone plays, it's going to be difficult, I think. I believe they are 10th in the NFL against the run. So, but the way the Eagles run, I think they match up well against them. So I look at their corners, and they got a couple young corners, and I think you can exploit them. And I think that's why I think the Eagles are going to throw the ball a lot.
Yeah, I agree completely. I think they're going to throw the ball a lot. And look, this is where it'd be nice to see Alshon have this breakout game. He's gone against a lot of good corners so far this year. So I think he's going to have some favorable matchups. And I definitely agree with you. I think the cornerback spot that is secondary is where you want to attack Carolina. And as long as they do that, and if they can hit Cam Newton and bang him around a little bit, they'll throw him off his game and they'll win.
Yeah, I think coming in, the Eagles kind of match up well because you look at the corners again. You look at Alshon Jeffrey. That's a great point you just made. I mean, you look at the first 5 weeks, you just had to play Patrick Peterson. Now, Casey Hayward's a very underrated corner. He's not top 10, but he's very underrated. Janoris Jenkins in week 3. Week 2, it was Marcus Peters. And in week 1, it was Josh Norman. Now it's James Bradbury. It's like a breath of fresh air for Alshon Jeffrey. So James Bradbury on one side, you got Darryl Worley on the other. These 2 guys are improving for Carolina. They've gotten better, but by no means are they, going good cornerbacks. I would say maybe they're average. So, and then you look at their safeties, Mike Adams and Kirk Coleman. I think you can get a couple deep passes on Carolina as well. So, I mean, I see Carson Wentz having another big game.
Yeah, I hate like I'm telling you, when it was him and Nate Allen, dude, that used to drive me nuts. It's like bad flashbacks. I want to punch a hole in something. You know what I mean? Those guys drew me. I don't like Kirkland. But you know, also, you know, on the defensive side for us, there's no Olsen. So
yeah.
that's a big loss for them. And you know, you're gonna have to go up against Benjamin, but I like the matchups too. I do. So yeah, I think there's some opportunities for the Eagles to take advantage of some stuff. But look, man, this is the first real big primetime game for Carson that has some meaning. Like, this is a big game. So it's going to be really interesting to see how he plays and if he's ready for this kind of stage. You know what I mean? Because I expect a playoff atmosphere. I do.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is the first time since like probably that Dallas Sunday night game where Carson Wentz is really in the spotlight.
Yeah, that Dallas that game pissed me off too. Dallas stinks, by the way. Just gotta get that out. They stink. The Giants stink. The Redskins are a tough team, but look, the division is ours, man. It's ours. So this game is something. This game, I'm like, all I could think about all day, all night is this Carolina game. Like, I wish I could play. I want to run into somebody. You know what I mean?
Thank God it's Thursday and not next Sunday.
Couldn't wait till Sunday, man. And I heard that they're not wearing the white jerseys. Now, I don't know if this is true, but they're going to wear Rush colors.
Uh-oh.
Dude, if they're not wearing all white, we're going to win. Seriously.
You know, this Green Bay Dallas game. So I you know, as you guys know, I kind of watch the games. I kind of do my hieroglyphic notes. Each team only possessed the ball 8 times in that game, and they scored. It was 35-31. So that just shows how bad both defenses are.
No, they're
a
like,
normal NFL game is like 10 to 12 possessions. This one had 8.
8
so
possessions.
Teams were just going right down the field on each other.
Yeah. That Green Bay's defense is not impressive. Dallas' defense is horrendous. It's horrendous. And you know, watching Dallas lose in that fashion with the Dragon Slayer, right? Slaying the dragon again. I said during my live show, I said, don't worry, Green Bay is going to win. Rodgers is going to beat him at the end again. Just watch. And it happened. It's the most beautiful thing ever. Like, really, it made my night. And now Dallas is going to be in chaos. You got the Giants in chaos. I love it. I love it. But we got to win this week. Then it counts.
Yep.
You know, I think I'm not ready to make a prediction yet because this is a hard game. But
it's very hard.
You know, but
I had a lot of trouble with the Chargers game. And my initial instincts were to pick the Chargers, and then when I thought about it, I picked the Eagles. And this is kind of feeling like the same way. My initial instincts were we're not going to go to Carolina and win. But as I kind of look at the matchups, I think the Eagles it's kind of favorable for them in a lot of ways.
It is, yeah.
I think it's tough to go on the road.
Yeah, I mean, I have to admit, like it may be very hard to be unbiased in this game, picking this game. You know, I'm going to try to do my best, but I want the Eagles to win this game so bad. I don't know. You know,
I'll tell you what worries me. Devin Funchess is starting to play better. Kelvin Benjamin is a load. These guys are like tight ends, and you're going to be asking your corners. Now, Rasul Douglas is a little bit bigger. But Jalen Mills isn't exactly the biggest guy in the world. So you're gonna have 2 mismatches in terms of physicality. Are the Eagles' corners going to be able to handle that?
Yeah, no, it is. You know, Cam worries me. Cam Newton's ability to
He's
keep
playing
plays
just as
alive.
well as Carson Wentz right now.
He is, and he's got such a cannon, man. He's got such a big arm. You know, he does. He worries me. I hope that the Eagles go at him. I'd like to see them blitz him. I know that they worry about their corners and stuff, but I think you got to knock Cam around. I think if you knock him around, especially early, he gets like a little frustrated. He gets a little off with his throws, and then he tries too hard, and then you got him where you want him. So I think that's going to be the key. Is you got to hit Cam. You got to get pressure on him because he will kill you if he has time. He will kill you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they're thinking the same thing about the Eagles and Wentz and his ability to stay alive. But I don't know if Lane's playing or not because, right, he might have a concussion. I know he said he wants to play, but if he has a concussion, isn't it up to the doctors? So
yeah, we won't. I'll have to check out the press conference. I guess I get the transcript sent to me, so I'll have to look at that. I'll have to look at that right after the show. So, but I love getting the transcripts because, like, I instead of like having to listen to all 15 minutes of Doug Peterson having to say "gosh," I can just read it.
You need Doug Peterson Corleone.
Yeah, I need Doug Peterson Corleone.
That would be fun. Doug Peterson Corleone press conference. That would be good. I like that. It's a good idea, actually.
So what do you think about Jim Schwartz taking your job?
What? What'd you say? Do you think you can do it on
the spot?
What's that?
It's hard to do it on the spot.
I know it is. I have to have the glasses and the suit and tie on. Then it just
get the
I actually did. I did one for Saturday night, and I fell asleep, and I didn't upload it. So I didn't want to upload it yesterday. So I'm gonna release it during the week. I'll release it Wednesday probably, but it's already done. Doug Peterson is coming after YouTubers. Just put it that way.
Well, he should be going after me. I came at him pretty hard.
Yeah, Doug Peterson Corleone's coming after the YouTubers.
Well, does Doug Peterson Corleone know that Carson Wentz is really making him look good?
I don't know. I think he may be in denial.
Because think about that. Like, think about all the third down conversions again. 4 of them, 11 plus. You had a 3rd and 8, like a 3rd and 6. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I think Doug Peterson did his best 2 jobs coaching the last 2 weeks. I really do.
I agree.
But I mean, you have to wonder when a guy keeps plays alive like Carson to convert on those many plays. You know, it's going to be. Is it Carson making Doug Peterson? You know, I can't say Doug Peterson's making Carson, but that's eventually what it'll come to. I think Carson is way ahead of schedule. I mean, way ahead of schedule. So I think he's helping Doug out. There's no doubt about it.
So he didn't have a 3-touchdown game until yesterday. He had it in the first 15 minutes. Do you think that there's going to be more of those now? More of those 3-touchdown type of games?
Yeah, I do. I think because, I mean, look, we're talking about second-year quarterback in week 5 of his second year, right? And if you look at Winston, you look at Mariota, this is right around the time where they started to have big years last year. And I think things start to slow down right around now for a guy. And you can see that with Carson, just the way he plays, you know, the confidence that he has. And I think that with that will come opportunities for him to throw more touchdown passes and that kind of thing, because he'll see things that he didn't early on. So I expect more 3-touchdown games, more 4-touchdown. I think it'll happen. I mean, it won't happen every week, but I think it'll happen more and more. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back this week with 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree because because of the competition. I think the cornerbacks for Carolina can be beaten. I think Alshon Jeffrey can have a big game. See, like I see this game, and a lot of the big play threats in the Eagles are in favorable matchups, and that's why I think that something good can happen. All right, so I just did a little quick little search for Lane Johnson. So it looks like he's not going to. Well, they haven't ruled that he's not going to play, but he's in concussion protocol, and there's a report saying that the Eagles are preparing to play without Lane Johnson. So I don't think he's going to play. Big V played 34 snaps yesterday, didn't give up any sacks, quarterback hits, or quarterback hurries.
That's pretty good. Yeah. Oh, that's pretty good. Look, he's getting better too.
Yeah.
He's getting better. And look, I still think there's problems with that middle pressure. There's still too much pressure, I think, sometimes up the middle for Carson. Just too much of a push. Maybe that's just Kelsey because he's small, but it's too much. But for the most part, I think they're starting to play better. And Big V's playing better. That's great. You know what I mean? And Lane is a big loss. It's a big loss. But when you're in concussion protocol on a Sunday and you play Thursday, the chances are you weren't playing. So that's going to be something the Eagles are going to have to take care of. You know what I mean? I hope that it doesn't, what Doug doesn't do is he gets too conservative. He doesn't take shots or do certain things because he's worried about that pressure on that side. Keep an extra tight end in or that kind of thing. You got to stay aggressive and you got to go for the kill because you're on the road. You got to play to win on the road.
Yeah, and without Lane Johnson, they're going to have to combat Charles Johnson and Julius Peppers, and that's not going to be easy.
That's not easy. Mm-mm.
Even though they're older, what I mean, I'll have to check out how the snap counts are for those two guys, but I'm assuming that they're pretty much seeing even snaps to keep fresh. So, especially with their age, that's what I would guess how they're using them.
Yeah, and I can't say for sure, but I'm assuming that they still are a team that likes to bring pressure, and
yeah,
they're going to do that. So, I think the Eagles have to take advantage of opportunities, and I hope Doug doesn't overthink it and get too conservative and, it comes back and hurts us. That's what I don't want to happen.
Yeah. All right, let's see. What else there to talk about? I think we pretty much covered everything. This might be Dingbat of the Week time.
Dingbat of the Week. I love Dingbats of the Week. You want to go first or do one?
You go ahead because you got a good one.
All right, so my Dingbat of the Week just won it yesterday. I wish I would have taken pictures and wrote the person's name because I would have gladly said it. But somebody was very upset at me for having a cigar in my mouth or near me while I was doing my live stream. Not because I had a cigar, but because they accused me of smoking pot and being a bad father for having a joint, they called it, with me in my mouth. Even though it was a cigar and I don't do pot, because the last time I did pot 20-some years ago, I thought my shadow was the FBI, and I heard my feet grow, and I didn't like it after that. So therefore, I don't do it, but I was accused of it. And they said that, what kind of father am I? And that's my Dingbat of the Week.
My Dingbat of the Week goes to the Vice President of the United States of America, Mike Pence, and his publicity stunt. What a dingbat. Don't you have better things to do, like the future of this country? You took 10 hours of your day just to go, where did they play the game, in Indianapolis? Just to go all the way to Indianapolis. You knew that San Francisco 49ers players were going to kneel. You knew this because they do this every game. And if you're Mike Pence, you're also a dingbat for wanting to go see the Colts and 49ers play. By God, what a dingbat. The only other game worse this week was the Jets and the Browns. Maybe he could have went there, but maybe he knew that nobody was going to kneel. So he goes to the Colts and 49ers. He pulls the publicity stunt. He leaves. What a dingbat.
Yeah, those are bad games. But think about this. those weren't even the worst games. The worst game was the Chargers, 0-4 Chargers, and the 0-4 Giants. The Giants are now playing the worst football you can imagine. And the way the Giants lost was so beautiful. But, I mean, 2 0-4 teams. I mean, that's pretty bad when that's the worst game of the week.
Chip McApoo.
Man, Chip McApoo stinks. I predicted that he would get fired this week. I really think he's going to get fired. Why would you keep him?
Oh, he's so bad. He's so bad. I can't ever figure out like what the Giants are trying to do. You know, one drive it's like these quick passes. Another drive you try to run the ball. Then another drive you do this, and I don't know what the hell Chip McApoo is doing.
I don't know. I don't know at all. They're bad. I mean, they are the worst team in the league right now. They're going to get the first pick. They're going to wind up getting a franchise quarterback. This division is going to have the Giants with a new franchise quarterback, the Eagles with franchise quarterback.
No, they are losing. They have to start winning.
But if you can't beat the Chargers, who are you going to be? Like, who could you beat? I don't even know.
And now they don't have Beckham.
Yeah, now they don't have Beckham. They might not have Marshall. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah,
but
got hurt.
Yeah, I mean, they're atrocious. But you're looking at a possible team with a division with 3 franchise quarterbacks, right, that are all with not even 3 years in the league, and then Kirk Cousins if he stays. I mean, this division's going to be tough.
This is what's going to happen. They're going to get a new coach. Eli Manning's going to go out of town. Like, he's going to leave, just like freaking Tony Romo. Yeah. Maybe Eli goes on and becomes a commentator. I don't know. But if they get, like, that top pick, and they would go quarterback for sure.
Well, I would think you'd have to go quarterback, right? I mean, some people think they'll go Barkley, but what are you going to get? 1 year, then Eli's gone. You have to take the quarterback.
If they're top 3, I think they'll go quarterback. If they're top 5, like if they're 4 or 5, I think they'll go Barkley.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. But right now we're talking 0-5. 0-5.
They got to win like 5 games.
Yeah, they stink. I mean,
I hope they start winning some games. I hope they get hot.
I know.
They need to start getting hot.
It ain't gonna happen.
Jeez. I'm trying to think of another dingbat. I really got nothing though. I thought what, like, that was definitely pre-planned before he went to that game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the NFL was like. I wasn't sure. I mean, you have to assume San Francisco was going to kneel. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know enough.
That's Colin Kaepernick's team. Eric Reed always kneels. Like, that's what they do.
See, I mean, look, I don't know. I have no idea.
Dingbat.
Yeah.
All right. That about wraps it up. That's it for this week.
That's awesome.
That's it. Unfortunately, you know, I wish our show from last week would work, because, like, we'd be doing a lot more of that. I love that idea. I love that concept of, you know, we basically watched the game and commented over top of it.
It was awesome. I thought it came out really good. It was fun. Yeah. And yeah, it's a shame it got blocked like that. You know, if we can figure out a workaround, or if anybody knows of a workaround, let us know. But we were blocked unless you were in, like, Europe.
We got blocked worse than LeGarrette Blount. I don't know if you guys know about this story, but LeGarrette Blount was sliding into some girl's DMs.
Really?
Yeah. and this guy, like, called him out on it. I think that's what the story was.
Oh my God, that's weird. You know what's another weird story? Not to change the subject, but Nelson Aguilar gets drug tested right after the game. Did you hear about this?
No.
Apparently, he got drug tested as soon as the game was over. I don't know if they just wonder why this stinky guy finally made a play. He must be on drugs. I don't know. But he got drug tested. I don't know if they think he's doing something or what. Kind of weird. Kind of weird story.
They think he's getting some PEDs from Lane Johnson.
I think that's what it might be. You know, we just found the guy. You know, 1 week.
We just found the guy.
We just found him. They're gonna suspend him.
You know, I watched that touchdown, and I literally thought to myself, you know, like I first loved it, and then like 10 seconds later, I'm like, there goes Philly 500's Nelson Aguilar missing videos.
Yeah, at least for a few weeks. No part 3, and I'm very excited about the potential start of part 3. So I hope it can be used. In one way, I hope it can be used, and in another way, I don't. I may have to incorporate somehow into something else. I don't know yet, but
that was funny.
Yeah, we found Nelson Aguilar 1 week, and now they did drug testing him.
They're gonna test you next. They think you're smoking pot.
Yeah, exactly. But the one thing about Aguilar, he's gotta do it more than 1 week. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people are like, see, Aguilar's found, he's not a bust anymore. You gotta do it more than a week. You have to put things back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
If he comes out and has a huge game against Carolina, that would go a long way for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I tell you what, when he dropped that ball, I said, oh my gosh, here we go. Because I didn't know how he was going to react to dropping that ball. But Wentz, and I give Wentz credit, went right back to him. Let him catch it, get it off his mind. I really think he went back to him on purpose because he knew if Aguilar starts thinking about this too much, it's gonna bring him down. You know,
Wentz has done that a lot. You know, he remember the touchdown to Ertz, and he dropped the play before, and he went back to him. That's something I've noticed with Wentz too.
That's a leader, man. That's a leader because he's the general. He's thinking about everybody's on his team, their needs, what is best for them, and that's how he does it. He great general. I love it. Love the guy, man. Love that kid. I love him.
All right. That about wraps it up, though. We're going to end it now. So that's
right.
for the 500. I am Adrian Fenke. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this latest edition of the Bitter Dingbats. Maybe we'll try and do something new next week. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Well, you are going to start doing recaps with me.
Yeah, I'll do some live recaps with you.
Yeah, so because
my man, the co-pilot.
Like basically the story is this. So James has season tickets, so he basically does the previews with me. Sometimes he'll do a recap with me if it's an away game. So I don't know if he'll do the recap with me on Thursday or not. But you know, Mike Owens is getting married. Jeremy Burton is getting married. Like, we're kind of older here at the Bitter Birds. You know, I'm 30. You know, some guys are a little older. So I'm still single. Hello, ladies.
We can fix that. I can fix that. We fix that.
I don't need anyone to fix. I have like, no, I'm good.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I know. I can't. My problem is I can't pick one. I'm
You're picky, huh?
I'm a picky one.
Mm.
But a bunch of people. So anyway, the point is, you're gonna do recaps with me, and it's gonna be awesome. So now now it's not just the Bitter Dingbats. We're gonna have you on the recap shows.
Yeah, I look forward to it. I think it'll be a lot of fun. You know. I think it'll be good. I think, you know, what you do is good, and I appreciate you letting me join you for it. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. So, you know, I mean, dude, this just got taken up a notch. You know, like even when Mike comes back, because like I love the way Mike and I think very like, and like I feel like you think like us. So
right.
I think that's what makes the recap so good.
Yeah, no, it'll be great. I'm so excited about it. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I like, you know, recaps not really my thing. I have a problem staying on topic. So I'm better with like doing a live stream with just questions and answers, just keeping it that. And, you know, recap is you know, I'm better off with somebody like you who can keep me structured and on the same topic because I just go everywhere.
Yeah. So yeah, so you'll do your little you'll do a little Q&A, and then you'll come on and do a recap, and that's what we'll do. So
Yeah,
that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that being said, that's Philly 500. I'm Adrian Fecke. This is about the 5th time I was going to end this show, and I haven't. But we are going to end it now. So we're out. Peace.
Take care. Bye.